Sat Sri Akal to all the viewers of Sikhi channel. Welcome. Ji Ayanu. My name is Jasmeet Singh and I am the Director of Training and Development at World Sikh Chamber of Commerce, welcoming you to this episode of what we call as the Sikh Life Talks. Somebody said that there is a better way to doing things. Find it. He also said that the only way to discover the limits of the possible is to go beyond them into impossible. Now, why I'm talking about impossible? Because today we will be talking about innovation. You would all believe that this identity of a Gursikh was given to us by gurus after so many things that the entire family went through, the entire gurus and their families went through. And it is our responsibility to maintain it and take care of it. The person that we will be talking today has endeavored to come up with very high quality solutions, products for us to help us to maintain this identity. This is where culture meets new age innovation. I'm talking about Charanjeev Singh ji, who's the founder of SinghStyled.com. Sat Sri Akal Veer ji. Sat Sri Akal Charanjeev ji.
Sasikal, Sasikal, and Sasikal to all the viewers of Sikhi channel.
We are so grateful, and I'm so happy to be talking to you on this platform today. And we have a lot to learn from you, a lot to learn from your journey. Viji, why don't you share something about yourself and also share about what is this SingStyle.com?
So thank you for the opportunity. I think to begin with, I am being a Sikh. I think I take the words of Mr. Aluwalia, K.S. Aluwalia. Sikhi is all about learning, and we
Right.
all keep on learning. I think in this during this chat itself, I'll be learning a lot from you as well. Maybe from your questions, some idea might pop up, which I might
Absolutely.
utilize.
We will
Um,
both learn.
Perfect. So I've been born and brought up in Bombay. Uh,
Right.
Mostly, I'm like a Bandra boy. So if you come to Bombay, say I'm a Bandra boy, it means I'm from the suburbs and
Right.
uh, very chilled out childhood. Um, it's a family of. It was a family of four. Now we are a family of three.
Right.
So I was born and brought up with by my grandparents and my mother. Did my college, my graduation, post graduation, everything in Bombay. I'm a master's. I've done
Right.
my master's in marketing and finance. Then
Hmm.
got into an internship with a very reputed digital agency, which actually
Right.
handles accounts of Hindustan Lever and PNGs. From
Right.
there on, I went on to banking, where I started building portfolio management platforms, uh, insurance platforms. So I
Right.
was more on the tech side. So I was a blend of marketing and tech. That was my background. Uh, I graduated to become more like into becoming a hybrid business model or a business head, which used to take traditional businesses and then get them onto the digital platform.
Wow. Wow.
Ran across retail, logistics, quite a few companies or sectors for nearly 14, 15 years, and then ventured into the startup bug bit me. Got into a startup before Singh Style, which was Cotizen.
Wow. Wow.
And during that duration is when actually Singh Style happened. So Singh Style
Right.
actually happened during a discussion, which was within the family. And the discussion was that why are the Sikh youth moving away from the identity?
Right.
To be to tell you the truth, I'm the only now Sardar left within the family who ties it all.
Wow. Wow.
Most of them have moved out. Few of them have moved out because of whatever reasons, but few the others have moved out because of certain problems or skin issues that they had. But majority of them, whoever I haven't spoken to, that why have you moved away from the identity, was because the lack of products to maintain this identity. I'm telling you that this is a guru gifted identity.
Right.
There are brands which spend billions of dollars to create a brand identity. Ours is a
Right.
guru gifted identity which is unique and global. Right? You just have to
Absolutely.
maintain it and respect it. However, there are lack of products here in Delhi, in Punjab. You can get quality turbans, but when you start moving down south of India, think about like Bombay has just a couple of turban stores. Go down to Chennai or a Bangalore, they don't have any turban stores. And maybe
Right.
there'll be one which is just cropped up. But it was really hard when during my time in Bangalore in 2006-7 to find a turban in Bangalore. So this was a discussion which was going on within the family, and they were saying that the youth does not believe in the faith, and I was like, no, that's not the truth.
Right.
The thing is, there are three or four things which keep a person rooted to their identity. One is music. So sorry. The first is history. You need to have a lot of knowledge about your history, right? A lot of people within the family also, the elders also don't know about the Sikh history in detail,
Right.
and that's the sad part, right? Uh, like for the Chabil thing, I did a thread on Twitter once, and there were a lot of Sikhs who came forward and said, "Boss, we didn't know about the story," and this story was
Right.
told to me by my grandfather. The second part is music, which is a big influencer. If you go to see Punjab and all, who are the musicians today? There is a Yo-Yo Honey Singh, there's a Jazzy B. All are not complete Sardars.
G.
Uh, so I'm not talking about Sikhi. Sikhi is from within, right? I'm talking about the identity. So
Right.
people
Right.
wanted to, they were looking at those people as icons. And I don't blame anyone. They are great musicians. But we had to find out icons and bring them in the forefront for the youth to see. Like, for example, there is Sabir, there is AD Singh, who is a dress designer. There's Sabir, who comes from an advertising agency. There is Talvinder. There are so many other Sikhs I know, which currently may not be coming up to my in my head right now. Were Sikh icons.
Right.
Uh, but the core part of people moving from the identity was the lack of maintaining the identity.
Wow.
And that's wherein I said, this is something, if you can fill that particular gap, you will not give a reason to a youth to move away from the identity. If he is moving from
Absolutely.
that because of that excuse, you have
Right.
removed that excuse.
Right.
Um, During the same time, I actually went down to Singapore, and I had met a lot of Sikh members out there.
Right.
Uh, Once you move away from the country, you see the depth of faith or the belief within the faith. It's like 100x, 200x of what you will see of somebody in Bombay or in Delhi or in Punjab. They believe
Absolutely.
they the langar seva. They believe they spend quality time in the gurdwara. They do a lot of seva. And I
Right.
asked them, what is that one thing that you want me to like? That one thing, to solve.
Right.
Do you get turbans readily? Do you get beard care products, hair care products readily for Sadar? They said, हाँ, but मंगवाना पड़ता है.
Right.
But there was one Sikh gentleman who actually came forward and told me, Charan, there is no GQ for Sardars. Or there is no like GQ is a popular magazine, fashion magazine. But
Right. Right.
whenever I open a fashion magazine, I've never seen a Sardar in that.
Right.
And I was like, I just kept on thinking for some time. I was like, damn, that's something which I want to do. So I don't want to open something like a Sikh accessory stores
Wow.
or like the shops that you go. I want to create an experience where a person who enters, he feels like delighted to be served, right? When you tie a turban, you feel like you're a king, right? And I need to serve you like a king. You need to
Wow.
get that experience, right? I'm not those gels that you get in the market, or I'm not the hair care products that you get in the market, or I'm not the turban that you get in the market.
Right.
I'm a butler to you. I will get you the best of the best quality turbans. I'll serve it to you. I'll get the best of the best people to work on products which will not only which will not only style your beard, but which will take care of your beard. Your beard should
Right.
not break.
Right.
Uh, Products that we build, we don't want to copy somebody to sell our products. We will innovate our products so that it solves a purpose. So there is a logic behind building each and every
Exactly.
product.
Exactly.
And and when we were thinking about the name, I said it's going to be Singh Styled. When a
Uh,
Sardar actually styles you, you're Singh Styled. When a Sardar styles himself, he calls him also Singh Style. It's a two-way brand name, right? And
uh,
that's the birth of Singh Style,
Wonderful.
right? So
Wonderful. Wonderful.
that's the story. That's how we began in 2015, and today here we are.
Wonderful, Vijay. I love the way you sort of shared it with all of us because, that's how it should be. You see a problem, you go to the root
Right,
of problem rather than talking about that problem. You go to the root of that problem and figure out an innovative solution which can, just sort of kick that problem from the root. And I think that's what has been your journey. So, I would wanted to ask more, Vijay. Can you just very quickly share the products that you have at SinghStyle.com for the
so right
benefit of
now
our.
so I have divided. So we are into three. We've divided things into three phases of the cycle. The
Right,
first phase was the need phase. What is the need today? The need is to provide quality turbans and to provide quality personal hygiene products or products which will take care of the beard, the hair, the body, right?
right,
So that's the need phase that we are in right now. So we got our own like within the family there is somebody who has his own mill. So we get our turbans done from them. These are high quality
right,
turbans which you will not readily get within the market. Uh,
right,
we started off with I think five or six turban shades. Today we are close to around 100 shades. I I think by 2022, 23 we should be around 600 turban shades. Right, so we want to become the Asian paints
wow,
of turbans. Uh, in beard care and in and for the hair we got something called as a beard setter. So these are the new products that we just launched. Uh, yeah. So
right,
that's the nourisher that we have launched. That's something for
right,
a lot of customers used to complain to us about. They're getting patchy beards. It's because
right, right,
putting fixers and putting a lot of sprays. What happens is you're daily hardening your beard. Beard by
right,
nature
right.
has to be very soft. So
G,
you need
G,
a softening agent, and the nourisher does that. So nourisher you apply at the night, apply it for 8 9 hours, and then in the morning set your beard. Your beard is as soft as what it was when you started growing,
wow, wow,
and you reduce the you know uh, the beard fall.
right, right,
We've got the case healer, which is another new product that we just launched. Uh, this is a particular product because this is a product actually I built it for myself. So
G,
what happens is every evening when I come back from the factory, my hair because I'm sweating in the factory, so my hair stinks a bit, and I can't wash my hair every now and then. So
right,
I
right,
apply this in the night, and it just deodorizes my hair. It removes the what do you call the sweat or the smell,
G,
whatever is present in my hair or and in the bacteria. And the
right,
next morning, my hair is perfectly conditioned. I also use it during after my hair wash. So it's a
right,
great detangling product. So
wonderful,
these are a couple of products you can actually find them on singstyle.com.
right, right,
I think there will be many more products which are going to be launched in the next, I think, 2 to 3 weeks,
wonderful,
which you
wonderful.
can actually register on the website and then keep on getting the newsletters from us.
Wonderful, wonderful. No, amazing, amazingly done, Vijay. In fact, I have used your products, and this is definitely value. Value in terms of taking care of this identity. I think that's the emotion that we will all have to understand before. So it is your emotion and it is your journey that you've sort of put into your product as to be just some personal care products. Vijay, I wanted to speak to you about the innovation part. Uh, why not a brick and mortar model? Why not shops? Why not distribution? Why an e-commerce, right? I know you are a techie, and you did mention in your experience that marketing and technology are your forte. So I understand that part, but why e-commerce? And I'm asking this specifically in the context of, youth who are, really trying to do something. They'll really learn from your experience. So if you can share about that innovation part with us.
So, see, we are direct to consumer brand, right? And
Right,
the only way where you can remain lean and profitable is going online. The second
right,
part, the second reason for being online was the experience part. If I had just one store, I would have been just limited to one location, right?
right,
With
right.
uh, with with the .com, I can provide the same experience or the customer experience across the globe. So anyone coming onto the site, right from the time they are, they're going through the products or information to the time of shipping, getting the products delivered, even giving us feedback, it's
Mm-hmm.
very quick, right? And
Right,
it's a breeze. So that's where the customer experience comes into play, right? With
right.
.com, it's very easy to do that.
Sure.
Third biggest factor is feedbacks. If I get into a store today, the by the time I get a feedback, I would be already on my third or my fourth production cycle.
Right.
Out here, what happens is when I ship out the product, I think by the day three or day four itself, we got to know the feedback from our customers about the quality of the product or what improvements that we have to do.
Sure.
Initially, when we became a .com company, this was the core part of building the trust, where customers were getting the opportunity to call me up and say, "Hey Charan, I think the product is great. Is the hold increase kar de?" Okay.
G.
Uh, we got to know that there are certain products how they behave across the geography. For
I'm sure.
example, we launched a beard setter, which sets the beard completely. I'm currently using that particular product. Uh, but the way it reacts in Chennai is very different than how it reacts in Bombay. How it
Sure.
reacts in Bombay is very different than how it will react in a summer or a winter in Punjab.
Sure.
Now that's
Sure.
a data which we are getting real time because being a .com company, right? Till the time and somebody will actually complain to a distributor or to a retailer, it'll get passed on. This is a Chinese dispute. The time and it would have come to me, I would have like, okay, this is
Wow.
not making sense.
Wow. Wow. Wow.
Also because just being a dot when we started off, just imagine if you buy a Hindustan Lever product today or a PNG product, and if you don't like a product, do you have the opportunity to call up and talk to the founder or the CEO of that company? Doesn't work.
You don't. You
But
don't.
out here, yeah, out here, that's what built Singh Style. If you didn't like the product, you had the opportunity to directly call me and give me your feedback. And then what we used to do is we used to go back to the drawing board, figure out why the product did not work in that particular condition, rework
Right.
on the product, send the sample to the customer, let him test it out. If he says, great, now it's perfect, then make the improvement in the next batch. And
Right.
being a .com company, again, we can do small batches. If I had a
Mm.
distribution, I would have to do 5,000, 10,000 units a month. Right now, I'm limited to doing around 1,000 or 2,000 or 3,000. It totally depends on me. Now we have scaled
Right.
it. We do around, say, around a 10,000 units a month.
Sure.
But
Sure.
initially, when we started off, we were just doing 500 to 1,000 units a month.
Wonderful. Vijay, what I could make out from the way you said that, how you are dedicated to take on the ground feedback, and how each and every customer, what it says, what their experience is important to you as an entrepreneur, as the founder. So the feeling that I have is that you're building this with a lot of care. You really, really care about what you're trying to do. Have you had any experiences? Do you have any anecdotes on this journey that you would want to share us with us that really made you go back and work even more harder for the mission that you've taken?
So I've been blessed, in this case because being when I started off, I only started by myself. I was the only guy running the whole show, and then later on, my wife came into the picture. My mother has helped me a lot,
Wow.
but my wife, there's now Ashwath. We're slowly and steadily building our team.
Right.
But during the start, where people didn't understand the vision of Singh Style, why did Singh Style actually start off? They were still taking us as a product company, uh, and there were low points that you hit, and I didn't have any, and I didn't know whom to share it with. And
Right.
then suddenly these mails start popping up on your screen. So we did actually in 2016 a Sing Style. We had launched a Sing Style box. This is
Right.
a very popular product which we discontinue currently, but we're now going to be relaunching it with a totally different packaging.
Sure.
Now
Sure.
that particular box is to be given to grooms or to or your spouses, whoever. So so one of the customers, she was from Canada. She got to know
Wow.
about our site. She comes on our site. She places an order. It was, I think, their anniversary, so she wanted to gift it to her husband. So when he opened the box, he loved it. He showed it to everyone. It had a turban. It had limited edition salai, which is a
Mm-hmm.
designer salai that we had done. We had all our beard care, hair care products in that, with a nice message from the wife, which we had printed on a letter.
Wow.
Uh, and during that time, actually, demonetization had just happened, right?
Mm-hmm.
And we were actually at a low point where for a few days we didn't see any orders coming in.
Right.
Uh, and I was like, why am I doing this? Let me just get back to my corporate world again, or let
Mm-hmm.
me just join some other startup. And at 8, and this happened in the night, and early in the morning at around 6:37, I get a mail from this 12-year-old kid. Now, this
Right.
kid is nobody, but that was the customer's child, who says that I want a Sing Style box. I'm a 12-year-old kid. I just saw your Sing Style box. Can you make a similar box for me? I want to take it to my school
Mhm.
because I'm bullied in my
Wow.
school. So I want to show that box to
Wow.
people to make them understand that what are the things that are there in a box which help me to, uh, maintain my identity. There's a turban. How do I tie the turban?
Right.
If I can show them a kada, what is the meaning of the kada? Can you put a
Mm-hmm.
salai in that? A small salai for me, which I can carry to my school.
Right.
And that actually made me, weep. Like I think I cried that day for like nearly half an hour or something, thinking of that. What is the impact that SingStar has actually made, which I had never even thought about. I was just
Wow.
building it for myself and for a few other friends. That
Mm-hmm.
okay, there is some, because actually SingStar was actually a hobby to start with. I actually thought
Right.
that okay, one day ये कितना बढ़ेगा. Then
Mm-hmm.
I'll put it at to an automated mode, and then I will start. I'll get back to the
Something else.
corporate world.
Right.
And that particular mail just changed my life, right? And
Wow.
then
Wow.
after a few years, I think I started getting a call. I got a call from this gentleman who had actually moved out of this identity. I think when he was 15 or 16, that's what he told me. Got into
Mm-hmm.
the technology background, came down to Bangalore, and somehow he came across our site,
Right.
and he had read the post that I had written about the meaning of my turban. Like every lad has a meaning. The first
Mm-hmm.
lad is all about equality. The second lad is about seva. Third lad, whatever. It was basically my thought about the meaning of my turban. And he
Right.
said that after I saw all your products, I felt so good. I want to get back to my identity. Now it's become much more easier for me to maintain it. Earlier, that was not
Wow.
the way, right?
Wow.
And I told
Wow.
him that you can't, don't go. So no, so he actually had written to me because he didn't know what should be the turban length
Mm-hmm.
that he needs to buy, whether it's a 5 meter, 5.5 meter, or a 6 meter. I told him first learn the art. Tying a turban is
Right.
an art. It's a
Right.
respect, right? It's a crown.
Mhm.
So don't
Right.
buy anything right now. You
Mm-hmm.
first go down to the Gurdwara, which is the Ulsur Gurdwara. Uthe Matha Teko. Then there's a group of youth out there. One of them is actually a customer. Uh,
Mm-hmm.
Go and meet him. He'll teach you
Mm-hmm.
how to tie the turban.
Right.
And then you come and you buy the turban. Because if you today you buy a 5.5 meter, if I tell you, and tomorrow you learn a 6.5 meter turban, it's a
Mm-hmm.
baby of that 5.5 meter which you've bought
True.
because
True.
you can't use that turban anytime.
These are such
Uh,
powerful stories, VG.
yeah, so these are and there are several of these kind of mails that we keep on getting where we say okay, whenever we have thought of giving up, or we've thought of
Mm-hmm.
okay, let's put it on autopilot mode. where we say, okay, innovation is now done.
Right.
Suddenly, one fine day, we get this kind of a mail or
Hmm.
a call randomly, and it's actually the Guru Maharaj who's doing it because he's listening, right? So he's listening.
True.
Maybe
True.
this is how Singh Style happened. It was I always say that I'm just a sevadar. I'm just doing whatever
Wonderful.
he's saying. He's opening the doors. I'm not doing anything.
So wonderful, so wonderful. Vijay, I really, I'm so happy to sort of listen to your experiences, and particularly somebody coming in the community and doing such innovative work and solving a very, very cultural problem. I think, like I said, this is where culture meets innovation. I think if there are, my brothers and sisters who's listening to this, this is the way to actually solve your problem. So thank you so much for sharing your experience, your life, the life of Singh Styled, and the anecdotes. I would sort of want to move a little sort of on a different track, and I wanted to ask you about WSCC, and wanted to ask you what has been your experience so far with the community, with the group, and where do you see this? What is your perspective on WSCC? If you can quickly share that about, please.
I think I need to thank Puneet Chatwal Beji, who actually added me, who sent me a invite first.
Right.
I added him on LinkedIn, and suddenly I
Hmm.
started seeing WSCC take my calls and all. I was very like, what is this? And then I came across WSCC, and then I said, okay, let me register for that. And then I got
Right.
in. I heard Parmeet Ji, and I think his vision of WSCC is huge. There's so much of potential in that,
Right.
uh, and I think
Right.
that's why it's taking him time right now. He's razor sharp focus right now in building. I
Hmm.
and I can see this particular community turning into a channel wherein it will help seek not only seek entrepreneurs, but any entrepreneur, because we are Sarvada Bala, right? We believe in that.
Right.
So the
Right.
first phase would be where we help seek entrepreneurs or community members who are building their businesses,
Hmm.
uh, help them out to reach their vision, and then slowly and steadily even move branch out to many more people where we see that these seats can add value to somebody's life. And I
Absolutely,
think
Vijay.
he's doing. I think not only him but also Alicia. I forget. I don't remember people's names, but even you, there are so many out there of the members out there or the core team. You are doing a fabulous job. I think one day at a time, there's a brick getting laid. I think we all are slowly and steadily seeing that vision. I think I've got a lot of help from the WSCC members. For the last 90
Right.
days, I've been a member of this community, and the smile, the always that help. That Charan, you need any help from us? You need any feedback? It's always been like
Hmm.
forthcoming. It's never that I had gone to seek something, right? So
Right.
that's the power of WCC. I think I think the network should grow globally, and it'll create
Absolutely. I completely
I
resonate
mean,
with
abroad
you,
the world.
Vijay. Um, yes, I have to talk so many things with you, but of course, we'll have to do it a little quickly because, our slot will be getting over in some time. But Vijay, I really, really wanted to ask you this, and, really want to take the benefit of your tech experience. All our youth, our young brothers and sisters in this era of a huge technological change which is coming, which we can see. You being from tech background, what would be your suggestion? What should they do? Do they all need to become technological experts, or if they sort of just keep themselves surrounded with some updates, that will work for them? I mean, what is your thought on this, if you can please share?
I think technology slowly and steadily has gone. Even if you don't want to learn technology, uh, technology will make you learn. Will push you to make the adapt. I'll give you
Right.
examples of my parents. My mother never actually had a mobile phone, and today she's one of the big influencers on Facebook, right?
Wow.
Using that mobile. I always tell everyone that that one language, you can learn Spanish, you can learn French, you can learn Japanese, Thai. Cantonese, whatever you want to learn, but learn one coding language, because
Wow.
that's going to be your starting point forever, for anything that you're going to be doing in life. One is designing. Okay, designers have always been neglected to the designer.
Mm-hmm.
Today, that scenario has changed. Big businesses are built on user experience, which is based on design philosophy.
Right.
Uh, you have a brilliant idea, you will have to go to find a coder. You can't afford it. You will have to code it yourself,
Mm-hmm.
right? So if you know a particular language, start learning. I have heard about stories about 50-year-old, 60-year-old people during this pandemic learning JavaScript and all. And I was
Wow.
amazed, because that's something where you are upskilling your work, right? You,
Right.
people who didn't understand digital marketing, pandemic was the best time for them to go and get that digital certificate, Google certificate, which LinkedIn now is filled up with. Whenever I log in into LinkedIn, I'll see somebody with a Google certificate or a digital certificate.
A lot's happening. Yeah, you're right.
Right. So
Yes.
I think you've got to honor now technology, got to learn one language, right? So that you can build a basic website for yourself to
Right.
put up your information out there.
Absolutely.
Or understand there are so many tools available which you just have to now, like a Canva or something, which you can just go and design for
Right.
yourself. You don't need a designer anymore,
True.
right?
True
So I
that.
think technology is the like it's already the frontier. I
Mhm.
think people who are lagging behind should now start running behind it.
Absolutely, absolutely, Vijay. And that brings to my last question for the evening. Um, Being at the helm of such an innovative enterprise, which is working for Sikh youth, which is working for Sikh, which is working to restore that culture and preserve that culture and maintain that culture, what would be your message to the community? What would you sort of your heart, your message to the community?
If you can just come again, because I think there was a small break
Right.
in
So
my
I
network.
was my sure. My question was that being at the helm of such an important organization for the Sikh world, the anecdotes that you've shared is absolutely hopeful of bringing people back into the community. People who have left their identity, running such an important and critical organization. What would be your message to the Sikh community as a whole? To our Sikh brothers and sister. If there is any message from your heart that you want to share, please go ahead and share.
I think Singh Styled is a very small brand in terms of what the faith and the people are. We are just here. I always say, or our tagline is that we are just dressers for the saints,
Right.
or we are just being a butler. Uh, but I think now is a time where we need to start cherishing or start bringing the icons. It's a high time the youth should know that we are not an auto part company owners, or we are. That's most of us are related to that business, but
Right.
there are
Right.
doctors, there are people into high businesses, there are into banks, uh, people are CEOs of uh, MNCs. All these are Sikh icons. If you go to see, if you start reading about them, I think these icons now need to be brought in front. If you know some talent, rather than saying, rather than thinking, "अच्छा ये बड़ा हो जाएगा," don't do that.
Mm-hmm.
Bring that talent. Bring the talent in the forefront. Let him grow, because when he grows, the identity grows. When the identity grows, people will stop, you know, uh, saying, "Oh, you're a Sikh or you're a turban wearing guy." वो सारा कुछ चला जाएगा. That hatred will go. They will see that this particular community is just 2%. But this
Right.
2%, if that vanishes today, you know, there's so much of humanity which will just perish. And I'm not
True.
making a statement right now. I'm just telling you the fact of life. You see any crisis, you'll see the Sikhs in the forefront. You take the armed forces, Sikhs on the forefront. If you call us, there's any problem out there, people have actually gone to the Sikh house to take shelter, and we are just
True.
2%.
True.
This is a
Right.
great time when this 2% unites together. respects the
Right.
identity, respect and understands Sikhi. Like Mr. Aluwalia always tells me, Charan, Sikhi needs to be, you need to learn it from within. It's not that it just comes to you. The day when
Right.
you
Right.
understand Sikhi,
Right.
that's the day when you will actually understand what our gurus have actually done. Right?
Wow. Wow.
This is a time where Sikhs have to unite, continue doing what they are doing globally, making a mark,
Right.
and all the icons out there, they need to now come forward and be icons for the coming youth. When my tomorrow kid says,
Ab-
I want to become a banker, I'll say, that's Mr. Bagga. Go and look at him, right?
Right.
Or if he wants to become a pilot,
Right.
there is somebody out there from the Air Force. I can actually make him say, okay, this is your icon. Learn from him. So,
Absolutely. Absolutely.
so
Such a powerful
that's
message.
it.
Such a powerful message, right? So thank you so much. Thank you so much for your time today. I've learned a lot during about 30 to 35 minutes of conversation, that how you started with a problem, how you created an innovative solution about it, how it is very important to think innovatively, and how it is important that we understand Sikhism as the learning process, and the entire youth or the entire community to come together, unite, so that our children tomorrow should have these icons to look at, right? So
Correct.
thank you so much for all the wisdom that you've shared, Viji. And
Thank you
I
so much,
genuinely
and actually, I will tell the viewers, you have been doing a fabulous job. You are one
thank
of
you.
my, I think, many icons that I should bring on to Singh Style and actually share it with my audience.
Thank you so
You have been
much.
doing a great job in the education sector and with WSCC. I think,
Thank you.
talk to
Thank you
you.
so much. Thank you so much. I'm humbled. But I generally end these conversations with one of the slogan of WSCC, and that is one Sikh for another. Yeah, one Sikh for another.
That's,
So thank you so much, Viji. Sat Sri Akal.
that's it.
And good night. Good night. Thank you so
Good night.
much. Thank you so much for your time. Thank you.